We are live in Spartanburg, South Carolina. You're watching Twin Sports TV.
And it's our live, uncut, unscripted segment where the cameras rolling.
Anything goes.
We here at Upward Sports Nation.
Oh, yeah. With a whole lot of basketball.
Hey, we found somebody special.
We got him.
So excited.
Oh,
We're
yes.
going to talk to him for a second. We're going to let him introduce himself to you.
Oh, yes. Can you tell our viewers your name, please?
I'm James Naismith.
All right.
Now, your grandfather invented basketball. Can you walk us through how he invented basketball?
He had this idea that these rowdy young men needed a sport to keep them busy and keep them out of trouble. Okay, and he first started off trying to modify other games like soccer or rugby or something. You can't play that on a hard floor with brick walls.
Sure.
So he decided, I got to come up with something new. Okay, came up with the ball. You got to have a ball in the game. Soccer ball is big enough you can't hide it.
Right.
Okay, you got to have a goal. Okay, well, what do you do with the ball? You got to put it in a box or something. Turned out it was a peach basket because it didn't have any boxes.
Okay.
Now he's got the ball in the goal. The next thing he came up with was, how do you get that ball in the goal? Well, first you got to get the goal high enough to where you can't just stand around it and defend it. So there's where the 10 feet came from. That was the railing in the gym. He nailed it up there. Then it was the arc of the shot. And that went back to a game he'd played as a kid in Canada called Duck on a Rock. And that was your most effective shot, was not chunking the rock to knock another one off, but we say chunk in Texas. This kind of a shot where it hit it and knocked the other one off close, that you got a better chance of winning that game. Well, and we heard a recording that was found earlier this year, and I didn't even know it existed. 1939.
1939?
39. It was a New York radio program, and he was, asked basically the same question. And he had, how did this game start? And he said, well, the first game, he said, I had the soccer ball. He said, I'd nailed the baskets up on each end of the gym. I had 18 guys. So he divided that in two. That's 9 on a team.
Okay.
He said, I took that old soccer ball, I gave it to him. I said, the game is to get that ball in the other man's basket. I think he intended it to be a passing game, but that didn't get across very well because he said, shortly, I had a pile in the middle of the floor. He said, I go out there, He said, I gotta pull that apart. He said, I had several black eyes. Said one guy had a dislocated shoulder. I said, and one of them was completely knocked out.
Wow.
And
It's a rough game.
That was the first game.
That's a rough start, huh?
That was a rough
like
start.
Football instead of
He
basketball.
didn't have a problem with rough sports, but this isn't going to work,
Right.
So the interviewer said, he said, did you have some rules? And he said, well, that's apparently where I made my big mistake. He said, I didn't have enough. So clearly he went back and wrote some more rules. Because then he says, and the most important of those rules, and this was the third one, he said, there's the third one, you can't run with the ball.
Oh, yeah. That's basketball.
So we tried that one again and said, now we've got a nice, clean sport.
There you go.
And it went from there.
All right.
Awesome.
And you spoke of earlier in your speech that he worked at the YMCA. And you gave the initials of what the YMCA stands for. Can you tell our viewers what that stands for?
YMCA is simply Young Men's Christian Association.
Wow, I love that. Of all my years, I've never really heard that before.
It's a song, but they don't tell you what it's about.
Right, you get the YMCA.
Yeah.
They really need to be saying the word.
Yeah.
How important is it for your grandfather's legacy of inventing basketball to live on?
It's terribly important. And my wife and I, we've gotten into this just in the last 4 years. And we see it as an opportunity, kind of a unique opportunity to make a Christian mission outreach.
There you go.
And that just happens to be real close to our hearts. And I can tell you lots of stories there, but I won't do that right now.
How important do you think youth sports are to a community?
They are extremely important. I mean, and that's really what Granddad was up to. Use that sport, and how do you play that sport successfully? He's not so much interested in the sport as he is the people's lives. How do you live a successful life? Well, as a believer, you follow Jesus. It's a simple message, but that's as you know, it's not an easy one to get across necessarily. So, yeah.
Reel them in, especially those youngsters.
Well, I got reeled in.
You got reeled in? All right. Now, look, our TV show, our slogan on our TV show is "Get your game up." What do you do to stay on top of your game?
You know, I work out every morning during the week, okay? And I started shooting baskets.
Hey, how about that?
Can you show us a
'Cause
few?
that's fun. My
Can we get
personal goal is how many can I get in a row without missing one?
Okay.
Okay, I'm up to 15 now.
Hey, that's good.
Okay, how long can I shoot 80% or better? Okay, and I got up to 20, then I got 30, then I got 40. I got up to 50, and I just pooped out.
I hear you. That's a lot.
Didn't go any further that morning, yeah. But it's fun.
It is.
But it's good exercise. There's some other things I can't do, but I can do that one. You know.
All right. Well, we appreciate what your grandfather has done, because definitely basketball is a very important sport, especially for these young kids.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, to reel them in with all the distractions and temptations they have to go through. They need stuff like this to come and relax and, to just be kids.
Develop character, and they're concerned for other people, and it just goes. There's all sorts of opportunities there. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Right, we
I'm so
love
glad
it.
you're here. I'm so glad we're here.
Exactly. But what we need you to do is we need you to look in the camera and tell everybody, say, get your game up.
Well, girls, get your game up. Okay?
Yeah.